Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I am Casey the RockstarFlipper. I've been a full-time reseller for 16 years and on eBay for 13 years and many other platforms. I wanted to teach everybody today who is new to eBay or who may be coming over from a platform like Poshmark or Mercari who have very different shipping policies, how to ship on eBay for a beginner in 2023. For all of my regular viewers, this may not be news for you, but the one thing I did want to mention is the USPS did do away with our regional box A, regional box B. So take note of that. And of course, in 2023, there are new shipping prices. I'll link the entire shipping chart and price link to the USPS down below in the description box. So let's get started. For anybody who is a new seller, beginner on eBay, or is coming over from another platform like Posh and you don't understand shipping. So there's a couple of different ways that you can ship on eBay, and each one of them has its unique pros and cons and is very important that you know all of them. So step number one is, this is something every single seller has to have. You need to have a scale. I'll link mine below or one similar to it below in the description. Very simple. This is a 50-pound scale. You really shouldn't need anything more than this shipping on eBay. If you have bigger, heavier items, they sell industrial size or bigger 100-pound, 200-pound scales. But in the last 15 years, I think I've only shipped one or two items that this did not work for. So get yourself a scale. These are like 18, 20 bucks. Like, you gotta have it, right? So that's it. Again, I'll link it below. Okay, secondly, what you're gonna need, depending on the items that you ship, are some free USPS priority mail packages if you plan to ship any items over 1 pound. These are padded flat rates you can order. You can order the regular boxes, you can order the flat rate boxes. Only take what you need. And of course, these have to be used with only USPS priority shipping. Do not use these to ship your UPS packages or to use as bubble wrap and bubble wrap your items, because that's not what they're for. In fact, they say right on the packaging that this is property of the USPS and it's illegal to use it for anything other than the services it's intended for. And then you need possibly some of your own packaging material, poly mailers, bubble mailers, little boxes, whatever it is, depends on what you're gonna buy and sell. Okay, so let's jump into it. The first option that eBay provides you and that the USPS provides you is first class. This is anything under 1 pound. So once the item goes to 1 pound, if it is 1 pound, it is no longer first class. Technically, it's 15.99 ounces because 16 ounces is 1 pound. So anything under that is a first class package. It cannot ship in these priority boxes. It has to ship in your own packaging, either a bubble mailer or a poly mailer or a little box. Now these boxes add quite a bit of weight. For example, this box on its own is 4 ounces. So your item would have to be like, you know, a 13 or a 12 ounce or 11 ounce item to fit in this box and go first class. Has to stay under that 16 ounces. This is the cheapest route for any item, first class, whatever it is, whatever goes in, is the cheapest route for any item under 1 pound. And generally 5 to 7 days is what the post office says. Most of mine arrive in about 3 to 4, and this is the best option. Now, first class is priced, get your notepads out, and I'll link it below. It is priced based on the distance it's going, how far it goes from you, and how many ounces it is. So obviously, let's say a 4-ounce package from Florida, I live in Florida, where it goes to another Florida address, a 4-ounce package is not going very far, it's pretty light, it might be $3.50. But if I ship that same 4-ounce package to California, it might be $6.50. So the distance matters. And then as it goes up in weight, that amount of price goes up. So first class usually runs between $3.50 and $6.50, depending on how much it weighs and how far it is going. Again, I will link it below and you can check out the rates. I'll also probably put a screenshot up here for you guys where you can see exactly how much each ounce costs and how far it's going, generally the estimate that you will know. The second option, so there's like 4 major options. So that's the first option. Second option is priority. Once your item goes over 1 pound, you can ship it priority. And priority has a couple different options. That's why I say there's a few. So priority has by weight, which means you will be charged by the weight of the item and how far it goes, or flat rate, which means it can weigh anything up to 70 pounds as long as it fits in the flat rate packaging, and you will be billed one flat rate price. So for example, this is a flat rate envelope. If the item will fit in this envelope, this is good for like jeans or hoodies or things like that, things that you don't worry about them getting damaged, but they also need to fit inside of here. This is about $8, give or take. The exact price will be there depending on if you buy from eBay or where you buy it from. always buy your labels online because they're way cheaper than going in, always. So this is a flat rate envelope. This is a flat rate medium box. They sell a small one that's obviously smaller than this, and they sell a larger one. These have set prices. You can go look that up, $13, $15, $18. Anything that's really heavy that will fit inside of this box, that is a great price to send it in. This will protect it, so if it will get damaged, you don't want to put damageable items in this, then you would use a flat rate box. The other option is by weight. Like I said, you're charged by the weight, how far it goes. And that can go in any box that's priority mail that does not say flat rate. If you look at the flat rate box I just showed you, see it says flat rate. So this one is just a priority mail mailing box. So this is non-flat rate, by weight, flat rate. Now, if you don't know which one's gonna be cheaper, you can compare the prices on eBay or whatever it is. You can see that like this one might be $15 flat rate going by weight because your item, let's say your item's 2 pounds. It may only be $12 to ship it. But let's say your item is 20 pounds. That might be $25 to ship. In that case, the flat rate would be a better price, right? Because the heavier it gets, the flat rate's gonna be your better bet. The lighter it is, generally by weight. So you have one of those two options, either your flat rate envelope / box or your by weight. So priority options, 2 options. First class under 1 pound, your best option for the lightweights. Those are your 3 main options. The 4th option is for books and media mail, which I'll link below. If you sell that sort of stuff, you can ship media mail, it's called, for much, much cheaper. It's a little slower, but it saves your customer money, saves you money. And there's some rules about media mail, books, things that don't have advertisements, magazines, stuff like that. I'll put that down below. If you do sell those type of items, you can read about that and figure out if media mail works for you. The last option for shipping, if you don't want to use the USPS, is if you have heavy items, generally it's only best for heavy items, UPS or FedEx ground. If you're shipping through eBay, which I'll put a screenshot up, you can scroll through all these different options and figure out what your cheapest option is. You can actually see, okay, first class, I know that's the cheapest option. It's always cheaper than priority for the most part. There's a few exceptions. I'm looking now at my heavy item. I see a flat rate box option is $15. I see my by weight is $22. I'm gonna use the flat rate, or vice versa. I'm gonna use the by weight. And that's pretty much how eBay makes it really, really easy for you to learn what stuff costs and what it is to ship it to all different places. Now, when you're creating your listing on eBay, you have 3 options to choose. You can do calculated shipping, and that's where you plug in your weight and dimensions. And again, I'll put a screenshot. Weight and dimensions will be plugged in, and eBay will calculate it for the buyer. The buyer will pay whatever that calculation is, and then you'll buy your label and ship the item. It's generally the best for new sellers to use calculated shipping because you really can't go wrong. As long as you put in the correct weight and dimensions, eBay will calculate it for the buyer and they will pay the correct amount, give or take. Sometimes it's a little higher, sometimes it's a little lower. It all comes out as a wash in the end. You might lose 20 cents on one, you might gain 20 cents on the other. It works out. Their thing is not perfect as a calculator, but it's pretty darn close. The second option is a flat rate where you can choose to plug in how much the buyer will pay as a flat rate. Let's say that you have an 8-ounce item. You sell them all the time. I sell remote controls, use remote controls. Let's say that you know they always go in the bubble envelope. They slide inside of here, bang, they're usually right around 8 ounces, 9 ounces, 7 ounces, 10 ounces. And almost every time you ship it, you know it's about $3 or $4 close by, $5 or $6 far away. So you go ahead and set your shipping to $5 shipping or $5.99 shipping because that's gonna cover it almost every single time. Again, a little bit high, a little bit low. On the close ones, you'll make some money. On the far away ones, you might lose a few pennies, but you go ahead and set that flat price. That's a flat rate cost. Your third option is free shipping. A lot of people hate free shipping. I love free shipping. I do free shipping because it helps get me way more sales. People would say, well, Casey, why would you do free shipping? Why would you make yourself lose money and not make the buyer pay for it? Well, let's say that I'm selling that remote control. And that remote control is a $20 remote control, right? And I'm gonna charge $5 for shipping because we just talked about it. It costs $5 to ship that item, give or take, first class. Why wouldn't I just charge $25 shipping with free, right? $25 free shipping, all in. Instead of 20 plus 5, I can do 25 free shipping. Since I know that's what it's gonna cost for that item, give or take. That's what we do. I know what those cost. I have experience with that, so I'm able to do that. Let's say that I always ship hoodies. I sell a lot of hoodies, right? Hoodies cost about $8 to ship. I think it's $8.20 now in the padded flat rates, right? Well, instead of doing a $20 hoodie plus $8.99 shipping or $8.50 shipping, I'm just gonna do $28.99 or $28 free shipping. Since I know if it's an item I'm not quite sure what it weighs or I'm not used to shipping it, maybe it's a 4-pound item, 5-pound item, and I can't really squeeze it in the padded and it doesn't make sense in a flat rate box, so I'm gonna ship it by weight. And I think maybe somebody in California might buy it. It might end up being $19, it might be $22. Then I'll do calculated. It's rare that I do that because I generally know what everything costs, but until you get that experience, calculated is probably your best bet to go. So let's review, and hopefully this helps everybody get off and running. First class packages under 1 pound must go in your own packaging. They can't go in any of the USPS. You can use poly mailers, great for clothing. Bubble mailers, great for things like video games, remote controls, things like that. Boxes, great for anything that's breakable, but make sure it keeps under 1 pound, under 16 ounces to continue using that first class price. Your 2 priority options, your padded flat rate boxes or bubble mailers, great for hoodies, great for jeans, anything that'll fit in here that doesn't really need protection. Great for items that need protection and qualify for that flat rate. Or priority by weight, where the by weight ends up being cheaper than the flat rate, and again, items that need protection. So those are your 3 USPS options. You have a media mail for you booksellers, which I will put down below. And then for your really heavy items, boxes with UPS ground or FedEx ground, which again, I will link here, or link in the bottom rather, and you can see it on the eBay page, which I'll put right there, a screenshot that shows you exactly what that price breakdown will be. And that's pretty much all you have to do. The only 2 items you need, a scale, about $18 to $20. And also, I'll put a picture up here of my thermal printer. I'll link them below. Thermal printer labels where you can peel and stick the label right onto your box or onto your bubble mailer, right onto it. Saves you a ton of time, ton of money, and it will pay for itself in the long run. It doesn't use ink or toner. It uses thermal heat, so you never have to refill the ink or toner. Let's say you're even refilling that 2 or 3 times a year at 20 bucks each. You're spending $60, $70, $80 a year just on ink and toner, plus what you paid for the printer, plus buying those labels and then sticking them with tape and all that. Buy the thermal printer. It's a little bit more than a regular printer, and you don't have to buy ink and toner. I'll link it below, and here it is. You can also buy ones for a little bit more money that you can print from your phone or your tablet. They're fantastic. I have the Brother. It's been a year with it wirelessly. I had a thermal printer for years before that was plugged in. The wireless is amazing. Consider it. And that's pretty much all there is to shipping on eBay, shipping as an e-commerce seller. It works the same for almost every single platform except Poshmark, which kind of spoils you guys. I know a lot of you are coming from Poshmark. But if there is any questions, anything you don't understand, questions, comments, concerns, leave it down below. Hopefully this helps a lot of sellers, and hopefully it gives you Poshmark sellers the confidence to come over and sell on eBay. I have a ton of other great videos. Subscribe to this channel to check them out. Go scroll through my video section and search for any keyword you want. Amazon, Posh, eBay, accounting, taxes. You can find videos I've made on every single one of those topics. Appreciate all of you watching. Thank you so much. Have a happy 2023. Make some money and get started on eBay and shipping if you're new here. Otherwise, to all my regulars, thanks for sticking it out. And I'll see everyone in the next video. Hit that thumbs up, guys, and I'll see you next time.